ends with Faze picking it up here after being tested just a little bit. But ultimately, Karrigan and company getting it done, reigning major champions. I don't know. I guess I'll just run that one out. You know, why not? Maniac and Lion K here with me to talk some sense about Faze continuing their dominance.
Hey, I'm sure, you know, Karrigan and Rain are not going to object to you calling them reigning major champions. It's been a long time coming for those guys, right? And an absolute clinic from Faze in this series didn't help Vitality's case that they couldn't win a single pistol or win some of the force buys. And unlike Dust 2, even though the score was close, it never felt like they were threatening Faze or Nuke.
Absolutely. I mean, before diving into the specific sort of tactics of it, I think Faze came here with an extremely serious attitude, and I for one had a couple of doubts whether, you know, if there would be a decompression after the major title, what kind of Faze we would see at this event. But so far they've been clinical, they've been extremely clean. In the Counter-Strike they play all individuals.
They're still compressed. There's been no decompression.
Yeah, there's no decompression.
And it makes sense, you know, like, why stop the ball if the ball's just rolling, you know? Like, let's keep it going. No, for FaZe Clan, this is what they wanted. You know, this is how you lock in that playoff spot. You kind of work it smarter, not harder, as we were kind of talking about earlier. And I don't think that there's much else that you could possibly ask if you're Karrigan and company, Yanko.
Yes.
Yes, and that is the case that we find ourselves in. Speaking of Karrigan, it might just be the time we hear from the man himself. I don't think he's donned his Batman equipment just yet, but perhaps in due time, we'll look up in the sky and see that, that bat flying around. It's Karrigan and James Banks.
There he is. Nice little turn. You ready for that? You enjoying the chair?
Yeah, I love the chair. It's good to be under you. You're a little low here, man.
Just trying to make everyone feel really small at this point. But, Karrigan, we're going to talk about one thing, right? When it comes to this game against Vitality, a very convincing victory for sure. This 2-0 looking nice. On Dust 2 especially, though, right? Every time they had a chance, every time there was some momentum for them, you guys would pull off like a force or a half buy and just wreck them. What is the reason why you make that call? Is there something that's particular where you feel like, okay, look, I've got them, I know their number?
I mean, it all depends on the situation, right? I felt like there was 3 unlucky rounds in the beginning of the game on the CT side, on the stew. But yeah, then we win some force buys and we can break the momentum and the money, right? So that's often why we do it. And yeah, it also creates a round where everybody has freedom and suddenly everybody's dead left and right, like on the stew, the D round. So yeah, obviously when you have players like that and they're feeling it, then you tend to do some force buys here and there.
And when it comes to Vitality overall, not speaking to Twist, he was saying, look, they can challenge any team, but it seemed like you had their number, you seemed like you had a good read in it overall. Is there really anyone that can challenge you guys right now? Because even when it starts to seem like it's close or there's a way in for a team, you find a way around them, even from fighting from behind. I look at that 8-7 first half on it and you think, okay, maybe there's a way that Vitality can get it, but still, you pull it over the line.
Yeah, I mean, right now, obviously, we're in a really good shape, right? We're in a good mental state. I think that's been the focus point, right? Doesn't matter if we're behind or in front. We play like we're winning the game all the time, and I think that shows a lot. So, yeah, I would say right now, the biggest enemy is ourselves. Has been 3 long months, and we haven't had a lot of practice for this tournament. But I'm just happy we made the playoff now. If we're going to quarters or semis, doesn't matter. Once we get to the weekend, I think people are getting back in shape. But obviously, we had to take some time off after a long major. So yeah, a little unprepared for this event, but we're doing our best in the situation we're given.
Now, when you say a little unprepared for this event, how much time did you manage to get in ready for it? And how are you feeling overall? Do you make that much of an adjustment coming into an event like this?
I mean, we had 1 day of practice, right? I remember waking up Tuesday or Wednesday thinking I'm preparing for next game. So yeah, it has been a long weeks, right? So we knew coming into this event, if we make playoff, we're going to be really dangerous, and we could have crashed out, but it just shows the capability of this team and how we withstand the pressure from Vitality today, right? A lot of pressure on us, but I think we're handling really good as a team, and like I said, I felt we were in control the whole game, and just had to close it off in the end. But yeah, Vitality is a dangerous team, and I just think we were able to shut them down today really good.
And who do you think is going to be the biggest team here that can challenge you, considering like even a team like Ents, right, they're having to play with a standard and stuff. It's not kind of your normal event you'd go into.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard when there's a lot of strange lineups, stand-ins, left and right. And, I mean, we won Katowice with a stand-in, right? So I know what can happen. But, I mean, like, I think on paper you have to see G2 as going deep in this tournament. I think they need that for themselves and the organization, right? So them, I have high expectations. If they can live up to that pressure, it's tough to say. But, yeah, it can also be one of these tournaments where Cloud9 goes really deep. But there's a lot of great teams here. But I think, obviously, we are a level above them right now, and we have to play to that level, else it's going to be really tough. And like I said, the pressure can be high, but as far as I know, everybody's standing really good, and we're staying calm. And that was one of the main things I was scared of coming after the major. How do we handle the next tournament? And so far, this day has been really good for us.
Well, it certainly looks good so far. You've made it to playoffs as well, so congratulations on a good opening day. Let's get ourselves back to the desk.